Hello, Shades, and yeah, I just watched someone play the beginner's guide. Don't think it'd be good for the channel. Or let me phrase that. It wouldn't be great with our style. I'd say our comedy duo where we can be deep, but it's more in bits. But anyway, I'm just making this because it is really early and I felt philosophical, and because it's really late, I am on true no lie brain. Now, what does that mean? It means that I'm very clear, and I try to get to my point in the best way possible. So, why am I making the video? One, it's because I was feeling like it, and I didn't know how to really introduce this side or this kind of stuff into the channel because, like, me and Connor talked about, like, we can get deep and whatnot, but the games that we have in mind are, I mean, he might, no, he's been doing that for a while. They're not going to happen anytime soon. And I want to get through Danganronpa. So I had to make this on one of our not recordings. But anyway, I wanted to get deep and introduce this and mostly just talk through it, talk about how I think we'll do it. Honestly, I kind of imagine it where, because this would be good for maybe a podcast idea or something, because we've thrown around ideas and whatnot, and we were both gonna have our own podcast, but when it came time, we really didn't know how we were gonna pad out the time. And I don't really like the word because, like, if I'm gonna be in a podcast, I would want it to be like something like this, where it's just straight talk. I'm not trying to be funny, nothing like that. Just straightforward. And and for and when we try to like do questions ahead of time or in general, we usually answer them pretty quick, or I come up with some fake answer. But or if it is some philosophical, like the chapter, what's the name name of the chapter of my life? It's like that's not fake, but we don't really go into it very much. We kind of talk about explain our sides and well his side, and that's it really, and that's fine. We have a game and we have to make progress. We can't just sit. But it's not very easy for us to just, maybe for him, probably. But I know for me, I don't like putting content out unless if I'm being effective with it or I have a plan for it where if it like one of the reasons why I love doing games for the channel is because is if it's like a story based game, all I have to do is follow the story. I'll make jokes and whatnot, but it's there's not a whole lot I can do to mess that up or to be not to get to a certain level. Um, I guess I should change it then, because it wouldn't be gaming. It would be story games or games that are linear, where no matter what, you're gonna make progress. Or effective progress that doesn't feel minuscule, like, and by that I mean like in a roguelike game when you get like a little bit of a buff, if that, you know. I hate that stuff because like that's why I don't play any roguelike games. It's just I hate being bad at those games because I want to put out effective good content. And the reason I was thinking about what image do I want on the screen, and I chose these two because these are my two. I would say if I divide myself, I'd say these are my what I would say I am. My showman side, that's a great comedian, loves to make jokes and be a smartass, and then me, the loner who just is kind of annoyed, but just kind of doesn't do much. And I'm not ashamed of your side. They're both cool. But I definitely lean more on the showman when it comes to YouTube. But I want to bring in the lazy side where it's and that now that side would only come in like podcasts and whatnot. But the only time that side comes out is during when it's super late. But anyway, so yeah, this is just a test run. Um, and honestly, this is not gonna be a daily thing, not at all. Even a weekly thing. Like, there's no guarantee this is gonna happen again with maybe and Zella. Maybe with Connor, but even then, it's just that that what is it? What is it? Because this is just when I'm being philosophical and thinking to myself. In fact, after watching the Beginner's Guide, I realized that in my library, I don't really have any games that are philosophical and or that can lead to deeper thought. And I was like, let me go find a game. So eventually, I can play that and maybe we can have more of this deep thought, you know. But yeah, this is hmm, yeah, this is a video that probably doesn't need to be made. Doesn't need anything really. This is just kind of a late night random thoughts, and honestly, I it's one of those things where recently I got a I got rewarded for doing something that I don't enjoy doing, and that is I got rewarded for being real, which I mean I don't mean to be fake. It's not that. I just prefer to be lighter and more of a comedian. But whenever I try to do that, it always comes off as either forced or if it's not forced, it's not exactly hilarious. And it annoys me because the main reason I want to be so light is because of how dark life can be, you know? It's one thing that I admire about Jacksepticeye, and other people who are just rays of light, where it's just where they are completely genuine, and and there's no guarantee they'll always be happy, but they're always a ray of sunshine, and it's just, it's such a refreshing, pers- maybe not perspective, but just a vibe. And I want to be that, but it's, it's, it's not, I'm not used to it. And when I try to be that, it doesn't come off smoothly, which makes sense because my nature is to be hidden, is to be staying away from anything that is center or that is the ideal. Um, and it's not because I don't like. It's not like a spotlight. Like I'm stage fright or something. It's more of a just how I've been. I've just never really liked sticking to the line. If it goes out of my way and it's like if I'm being told to do something one way, I mean I might do it if it's convenient enough, but more than likely I'll probably just not care and not do much. So for me to be a constant ray of light, I guess those aren't relevant because the ray of light thing is just your atmosphere rather than how you. I mean, no, I guess it's hard to say. What I'll say definitively is that I am not a ray of light, or at least not consistently. I have my moments, and I can be really happy, and I can spread the joy quite a lot. But it's not. It can never be always. That's not. That's not healthy. Which I understand, but it's the ideal, or at least I see it as an ideal because if you could always provide light, then you could help you could potentially help everyone if they ever need a person to come to or anything. And yeah. Um but yeah, this has been an idea that I tried to explore. Um I I guess, well, I think that's all I've got in the think tank. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. And we'll see you, and I'll see you next time.